Okay, I'm going to talk about Vine Man 2, also known as Vine Man Triumphant. And, there was the earthquake that swallowed up Briarstorm and Flame Freak. And after the earthquake, they are seen descending into the center of the earth and they fall into prison cells. They beat on the prison cell doors and they open. They stumble down a long corridor and they see Megatron and Adolf Hitler among the prison cells, and they also see the demons from the Doom video game series. They reach the end of the corridor and they see all sorts of demonic creatures and even giant spiders that eat the prisoners alive. They eventually reach a large valley of flames torturing skeletons of people, and they realize they are in hell itself. They eventually find and meet with the demonic eyeball, Sauron from the Lord of the Rings, who tells Briarstorm that he was a malevolent spirit sent from hell to terrorize the people of Earth. The demonic eyeball tells Briarstorm and Flame Freak that he can grant them new powers and take them back to the surface through a portal. Briarstorm is given wings and a new power to manipulate minds and control the weather, and now has a scepter with evil powers. And Flame Freak is given wings and a skull head on fire. The demonic eyeball also gives them a new evildoer, Briar Dragon. Briar Dragon is a dragon that has wings and breathes fire, but it's also made up of thorns and organic material like Briarstorm. Upon going back to the Earth's surface, Briarstorm quickly sneaks to Benjamin and Lauren's house in the woods of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and waits outside, but Lauren feels a familiar presence of evil and calls on Vine Man for help. Vine Man and Briarstorm fight, but Vine Man quickly realizes this version of Briarstorm is too powerful and starts hiding in the trees and trying to draw Briarstorm away from the house. Briarstorm taunts Vine Man and tells him to man up and face him. Just then, Rock Golem shows up and tries to kill Briarstorm, but realizes he can't beat him and is turned to dust and pebbles with Briarstorm's scepter. Briarstorm again taunts Vine Man and tells him he is not actually a spiritual being created by the Native American tribes in the area, but that he is actually used to be a man that worked for the U.S. government and is a result of an experiment gone haywire. Vine Man silently calls him a liar and knocks down a bunch of trees on Briarstorm, subduing him for a while. Vine Man realizes he can't defeat this new threat without help and goes back to Lady Aqua, who tells him the only way to defeat Briarstorm now is to go back in time and find King Arthur's sword Excalibur, and that alone can vanquish him. He asks Lady Aqua if it is true that he was really just an experiment by the U.S. government gone awry, and she tells him to seek the truth for himself. Lady Aqua also tells him this time Briarstorm is more dangerous and can actually kill Vine Man. Vine Man breaks into the CIA and begins to uncover the truth about his existence and about the government's covered up secrets about time travel. Vine Man eventually tricks Briarstorm into going back in time with him, and they are thrust into a battle with the Knights of King Arthur's Round Table versus wild barbarians in a large valley. Meanwhile, back in the present, Flame Freak in his new flying form decides to start forest fires in all the national parks, yelling his name annoyingly as he does it. But Lady Aqua hears of this and puts a stop to it by drowning him out with her water powers and flooding the parks. After escaping the battle in the large valley, Vine Man meets with King Arthur to tell him his plans and asks for the sword Excalibur, but King Arthur tells him he can't help him and refuses to let him use it. He then tells Sir Lancelot to escort the talking tree out of Camelot. Vine Man also hears a legend from the wizard Merlin that there is a large three-headed ice dragon called Blizzard living in the mountains outside of Camelot. Vine Man travels to find and tame the beast and gains the advantage of flight against Briarstorm and Briar Dragon. Vine Man finds Briarstorm by following a trail of destruction, and the two dragons fight for a long time, but it ends in a draw as both dragons are equally powerful. Vine Man decides he needs the Sword Excalibur with or without permission, and waits until night and sneaks into Camelot to steal the sword, which he promises to return. Vine Man again fights Briarstorm and Briar Dragon, this time with Blizzard and the Sword Excalibur. Blizzard attacks Briarstorm and destroys Briarstorm's scepter with an ice blast, and Vine Man kills Briar Dragon with Excalibur. But just as he's going to land the killing blow again to Briarstorm, Briarstorm escapes by stealing and using the time machine to go to the future. Vine Man says goodbye to Blizzard and returns the Sword Excalibur as he promised he would. The movie closes with the song Evil Eye by Fu Manchu, while showing Vine Man flying on Blizzard with the Sword Excalibur raised in the air triumphantly. Alright, now I'm going to show you some pictures that I drew for the Vine Man movies.